Last time on Between Waypoints, we're at the very base of Amicalola Falls for our 17-mile hike today. The approach trail is 8.5 miles, but since sadly we aren't starting the AT, we're hiking to Springer and back again. Which means we're starting with our 600 stair climb. 175 steps in this part, 425 in the next. $250 for the 600 steps done, and I need to catch my breath. Harder than it looks, that's for sure. Hope I'm almost done. This is really hard. Made it to the top. Might be done with the stairs. Definitely not done with the ups. And look, more opportunity to go up. Joy! But this is a good way to get some practice in. I've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I've gone 4.25 miles. So I'm halfway to Springer, quarter way through the hike. I've been doing an uphill climb for what feels like forever. Springer Mountain 3.5 miles ahead. We made it to Springer! We're on our way down from Springer Mountain. Ate lunch up there. I'm supposed if you were SOBO and you finally got to Springer Mountain, it would not be anticlimactic, but there's not much of a view. There's not much to look at. But there were a lot of people there. We're as far away as Germany. Yeah. I think there were like 25 people and one dog on top during the time we were there. It's a nicer view than the Signal Hill on top of Mount Magazine in Arkansas. And now we're going downhill. I'm also curious how my ankle and knees are going to fail, because traditionally they hurt more on the downhill, and I haven't done quite this much of a downhill straight. But I'm not winded. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I don't get winded going downhill either. We're taking a detour, need some water. So the downside of the quarter-mile detour is the quarter mile to get back to the trail is uphill. Kind of like most of the 8.5 miles between Amicalola and Springer Mountain. It's only a quarter mile. Just because I'm tired doesn't mean much. I can do this. When I was on top of Springer, longing to be at the start of my AT journey, but knowing that I was going back to Amicalola Falls, it made me wonder if my feelings were similar to Moses' feelings when he was in Kadesh Barnea on the verge of entering the Promised Land. Deuteronomy 1:27. See, the Lord your God has given you the land. Go up and take possession of it as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, told you. Do not be afraid.
do not be discouraged. But instead of fulfilling his dreams and desires, Moses spent the next 40 years, which happened to be the rest of his life, wandering aimlessly in the wilderness. Deuteronomy 1:26-28 says, "But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, 'The Lord hates us. He brought us out of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites, to destroy us. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt in fear.'" It makes me wonder how often God is looking at me and seeing me grumbling or being afraid to act. How often am I not listening to Him? How often am I discouraged and fearful instead of taking that step of faith to follow Him? I can understand the Israelites being afraid to attack the people in the land that they sought to possess. I can also understand Moses and Caleb wanting to just trust God and let God win the battles for them. I pray that I can be more like Moses, able to stop and really listen to God, to know what direction He wants me to follow. But I'm quite certain that I miss the boat sometimes. And other times I'm just confused on what I should do. Take the AT, for example. I am not prepared enough to start now for that long of a thru hike. My business is still too dependent on my personal efforts. On the other hand, I also know I long to take 6 to 7 months off just to do it. But is that dream of mine also God's will? I sure hope so. If it is, I pray that He opens the doors in 5 or 6 years to make it possible. And if it isn't what I should do, I pray that He somehow slams the door shut. Either way, I just hope I'm somehow able to listen to, follow, and trust my Heavenly Father.
Okay, made it to the detour. I'd have 4.3 miles left to get back to Amicalola Falls, which is where we started. Don't know how much of a detour it is, but I was told at the lodge last night if you go to Hike Inn, which the only way to get there is on foot, then they have cookies and lemonade. Supposedly maybe an extra mile total walk. I'm not totally sure. I don't remember what the other sign said. But really, I will say, walking a mile for free cookies and lemonade is so worth it. I hope it's true. Looking forward to my snack. Found a lovely log to sit on. I'm waiting for Larry to catch up. It's nicer when we get to talk together, but there's about a 0.3 of a mile maybe section. That was quite a climb, unlike most of this, which has been downhill. And I seem to have lost my husband. Yeah, I think it's time for me to enjoy my last half sandwich. Snack time. Food is so good when hiking. I don't care if it's flavorful or not. It's just always amazing. And there's Larry. He caught up to me. Just finished a snack, but still wanting some more food at Hike Inn. Let's go! We're at Hike Inn. They've got free cake, free lemonade, running water so we don't have to filter, and bathrooms. We are being so spoiled.
Where are you coming from?
All that's left. I'm so enjoying this cake. It's really good. The detour to Hike Inn looks like it's adding quite a bit to our journey, but for that cake, it was so worth it.
Well, we've never hiked the entire AT before.
Well,
but...
obviously, but I so want to do it.
I know, me too. But my point is, I think taking the approach trail is a really good idea.
Well, what do you mean? Technically, it's not part of the 2,200-mile AT journey.
I know, you can do the entire AT without actually having to do the approach trail. But I think if you're going NOBO, is a good idea.
Okay, I'm nibbling. Why do you think that?
Well, there's a lot of uphill climbs getting to Springer Mountain.
Yeah, I noticed. I think it was virtually all uphill.
And if someone's gonna hike the entire AT, they're gonna have a lot of uphills. It's 8.5 miles. So if you can't make it in the first day, which is fine, you just know you're gonna have to build up. There's some uphills. So if you're struggling to walk up these hills, you're gonna know it's gonna slow you down. It's gonna take additional time. If you're not enjoying yourself, especially if it's rainy or cold, that's not gonna change. I'm just saying, there's gonna be quite a few crappy days. They're expecting it to rain approximately a quarter of the time. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be hot. There's gonna be physical adversity. It's gonna be difficult climbs, and this one is not even that difficult. So if you're struggling, it may not be for you.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm loving it today.
And you're only carrying 12 pounds.
Well, yeah, I know. But remember, my ankle surgery was a mere 2 months ago. I'm still building up my ankle. When I have the business in order and my ankle's fully healed, I'll be ready to carry more weight.
Rain or shine?
Yes, hot or cold weather as well. I do love being out here on this trail, and I can't wait till the day we can do the AT.
Hike in 4.6 miles.
That was a fast 4.5 miles. We must be getting close.
I can hear cars, so we're getting close to a road. Almost back. Well, coming near the end, base of the falls, so hopefully we'll be there soon. It's 6:52, so we'll have done the entire trip in about 12 hours.
I'm almost done. I don't think I've ever been so ready to be finished with a hike. I'm on the last little bitty itsy bitsy stretch. Yay!
This was a long hike and I'm just feeling a wee bit tired.
There we are! We made it!
Yes,
We did it under 12 hours.
we did. A little shy of 12 hours. Kind of close. Feels great to sit.
Ready to do another 12?
Not today. That was 19.5 miles, which is the longest we've ever done.
I'm saying 4,400, 4,500 feet of elevation.
I went 54,000 plus steps today, so that's also my highest step count. Tired, ready to go to a buffet, all you can eat? Yes, we're gonna eat.